Hey, what's up everyone? The Dan Sandwich here, and I am back in automation, and then BeamNG.drive. Uh, Sorry about the delay in uploads. I got really sick last week, and I wasn't able to make a video. Um, Sorry about that. That being said, I was absolutely blown away by the response to my previous video. I had no idea that video was going to do as well as it did, so thank you so much to everyone who watched that and got a bunch of subscribers off of that. So that was really awesome. So thank you for that. And I will try my best to get back to like a weekly upload schedule. If I hadn't gotten so sick, I would have definitely made a video last week as well. And speaking of things that are sick, I built this thing right here. Uh, this is like a ultra lightweight track day machine. And it's extremely fast. It is extremely fast. There's some weird happening with the fixture right there, but uh, this is one of the craziest cars I've ever built, hands down. Again, this is something I was just, I was just messing around in the game without recording and started building this car, and I was just like completely blown away with how cool it was turning into. I think it's really cool. I mean, it's still a little bit rough around the edges. I mean, some of the fixtures aren't, perfectly lining up. Like there's a lot of 3D fixtures going on here. They don't all perfectly line up. This is a mod body as well. So shout out to Filament86 who made this mod body. Again, I'm not normally one who uses a lot of mod bodies, but when I saw this one, I thought it was super cool, like an old F1 style body, and I thought I would, try to make it into something. And this is what I came up with. So we have here, it is a carbon fiber panel material, monocoque carbon fiber, so super lightweight. It's a mid-longitudinal pushrod suspension front and rear. I didn't want it to be insanely expensive, so I did +3 quality basically everywhere. This is where it gets a little bit weird. The engine that I went with is a flat 4. I'm not sure exactly why I ended up with the flat 4. Mainly because of how lightweight this car is. I couldn't build something with a tremendous amount of power because it was just undrivable when I had a bunch of power put into it. So I went with a lower power engine. This is a 2.7 liter Boxer 4, which is really weird. Only 208 horsepower, but I'll show you here in a little bit. It doesn't need much power to get going very quickly. So that's something that, to keep in mind here. And again, I did some other weird stuff with it. So it has an auto manual transmission. So, not quite dual clutch, but something better than, maybe a step down from dual clutch. It is rear wheel drive. And if you look here, the estimated top speed is 251 miles an hour. That's right, 208 horsepower, but 251 miles per hour, which is insane. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here. A really, relatively low power car that is extremely fast. I put semi-slick tires on here, 205s in the front and 260s in the rear. So a lot of rear grip, obviously, for something like this. Carbon fiber rims as well. I used vented disc instead of carbon ceramics because, again, for how lightweight it is, I didn't need something with insane stopping power, but I did need something that would be fairly responsive, so I went with vented discs. And of course, I have a race diffuser. No active aero on here either, because again, I wanted to keep it relatively low cost. One seat, obviously, you can't really fit more than one seat in this vehicle. I think this is as wide as you can make the body to be, actually, so it barely fits that seat in there at all, so that's kind of crazy. Basic interior, of course, no entertainment, no traction aids whatsoever, so this is like, you really got to be on your, on your stuff if you don't want to crash and burn. Standard safety for the 2020s, though. This is a 2020 model as well. Obviously optimizing weight for lightness. And then I had to bring the weight distribution up to the front because it was very rear biased. Even though it's mid-engine, it's almost like a rear engine car in terms of the weight distribution. Standard springs and then semi-active dampers with active sway bars. I just put a sport preset on there to get it to work better. And yeah, I mean this thing is pretty crazy. It only weighs 1,361 pounds. I think this is probably the lightest car that I've built so far. So it is extremely light. And yeah, despite the fact it only has 208 horsepower, you're looking at a 3-second 0 to 100 kilometer time. I probably could have gotten that faster, especially if I made it like all-wheel drive. And then yeah, the top speed is listed at 245 miles an hour, so a little bit lower than the estimated top speed in the gearbox section, the drivetrain section, but obviously insanely fast still, especially for something with only 200 horsepower. And again, this was mostly started out as like a design piece, as something kind of messing around with some of the mod body stuff, a lot of modded fixtures here. Just wanted to do something different, and as I started working on it, it's just started getting crazier and crazier. I really think it kind of looks almost like an insect, maybe like a kind of has like this exoskeleton side, kind of style with it. Obviously you have sort of an open wheel design, but I have these enclosed wheel arches in the front and the rear. Got these giant scoops in the back to feed air into the engine area. I did try to, this is all street legal stuff as well. So I have a muffler on there and a catalytic converter. I wanted it to be like a road legal car that you can take to the track. Which is another reason why it's only 208 horsepower as well. I might revisit this in the future and do like a all-out crazy version. I think the kind of futuristic body style kind of lends itself to maybe taking a shot at like an electric conversion to it. I really like how I kind of integrated the headlights into the structure for the front wheels. And again, I mean, because of how many 3D fixtures I use on this, it's a little rough around the edges. And one thing I noticed about this mod body is it's not perfectly, it doesn't perfectly line up. So if you have the snap to center turned on when you are applying fixtures to this body, stuff ends up a little bit off from center. So that's another thing that I think is a little bit weird. Or if you're mirroring texture or mirroring fixtures from one side to the other, some things don't line up perfectly, but I think that's just a factor of the mod body more than anything. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I came up with for this video. It wasn't the video that I was intending to make, honestly, but once I started working on this car, I was like, man, I really got to make a video about this because I think it looks sick. I think it looks really, really sick. You've got obviously a single seat cockpit as well with like the racing heads up display. You got the steering wheel with the paddle shifters there. Only 2 pedals because again, it doesn't have a clutch pedal because it is a auto manual car. But yeah, this thing absolutely rips in BeamNG as well, as I will show you here once I take it out into there as well. I called it the Scythe. I thought that was an appropriate name for it. I don't know why I started naming a lot of my cars after swords or bladed weapons and things like that. I think it's kind of appropriate. You don't really see it too often in the car world, and I think maybe you should. But anyway, that's enough of me talking. I think the design speaks loud enough on its own for the most part. But yeah, let's take this into BeamNG.drive and we'll take it around the test track. We'll do a drag run and show you a little bit more of how this car works in BeamNG. Alright, here we are in BeamNG.drive in the DSM Scythe. BeamNG recently had an update, and I have to run the game on the lowest settings now for some reason. Now again, I had been running the game on low previously, which is still not amazing, but now I can't even do that, and I don't know why that is, but this is what I have to deal with until I can get a stronger PC. If anyone has any suggestions on how to get BeamNG to run better, it would be extremely helpful if you could put those in the comments so that I can get... Oh, geez. Oh, my. Quite a few rollovers there. But so I could get, like, more than, like, 12 frames per second when I run this game on anything higher than the lowest settings. I wonder how much of it has to do with the fact that they added a bunch of stuff to the West Coast USA map, the map that I'm currently on, and if that is just like really increasing the load on my PC. But even on lowest settings, I'm still getting like not great frame rate. So yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but this is what I have to deal with for right now until I can figure that out. Jeez. So yeah, I mean the car flips over really well, as you can definitely see. But I thought I would take it here because I wanted to kind of do some of these back roads, because that's kind of like where you would probably drive this car in real life, doing some back road twisty turning, driving and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean it looks really cool, I think, in the game. I think that it handles really nicely as well. You'll notice, you probably noticed already, the engine sound, for whatever reason, isn't great. Whenever the throttle lifts off or it's shifting gears and stuff like that, you get this like really awful crackling noise. That's the game. That is 100% the game. It's not like my recording software or anything like that. That is just the game, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because I'm using this flat 4 engine, and it doesn't know how to accurately model that sound for whatever reason. I don't know if it's an issue with automation exporting into this new version of BeamNG.drive. I don't know. I'll have to do further testing on that as well to see if it's just this car that's affected by that, or if it's the other cars that I built. But this is the first, one I jumped into. But yeah, it doesn't sound good. It does not sound good. It sounds really, really bad, very crackly, like there's something horribly wrong with it. But I swear this is just the game, and I don't know why it is. But anyway, I mean, I'm still really happy with the way this car looks and drives in game. I think it's going to be really fast on the test track. Let's get over to the highway and do like a highway pull. So we can see just how fast this thing goes. Again, in automation, it quoted the top speed at 245 miles an hour, which is just insane. Here we are at the beginning of the highway. Let me reset so I can have my front splitter again. And let's just see how fast this thing can really get up to in the highway here. Already up to 240 miles an hour. That's like no time at all. 276. And the game performance is so much worse now. I don't know why that is. It's so much worse. 206 miles an hour now. Oh, we're losing it. We're losing it. Oh god, we're losing it. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, alright, but 206 on the highway in this thing is insane with only 200 horsepower, which is just crazy. Alright, well, enough messing around. Let's take this thing to the track and see how this stacks up against the other cars that we have tested. Alright. Sorry, I'm not talking much here because I just want to be able to complete a full lap without crashing, without the game freaking out. Okay, made it this far. That's the most challenging part of the track, I feel like. Oh, that's a really bad turn. Oh man, this is not going to be a great lap. But like, with all the technical issues I've been running into, I feel like I just gotta complete this one because, man, this game is, it's struggling. It's really struggling, and I don't know why it is. I've never had performance issues like this before. And, this is the lowest setting. I'm still getting, like, really bad frame rates. Terrible. I'm not trying to be too complainy, but, like, man, this is still going to be a really fast lap, actually. It's going to be just under 2 minutes. So it's going to be up there with some of the fastest laps I've done. It's actually the third fastest one. It would have been way faster, though, I feel like, if my computer wasn't trying to kill itself. So, yeah, it's the third fastest lap. Just a hair faster than the 3-cylinder race car that I built. But this thing is really fast. But like, man, the performance after that last patch, this game is terrible. This took me like probably 10 attempts just to get it through one lap. Just to be clear, I'm going to cut a lot of that stuff out, I think. But man, this probably could have been a lot faster if it wasn't for that. But that being said, let's take this to the drag strip. This video is turning out to be a lot more disappointing than I wanted it to be. I'm sorry. All right, West Coast USA drag strip in the TSM Scythe. Full throttle here. Let's see how fast this thing can get up to. Whoa, wheeling! Jeez, I did not expect that. That's crazy. All right. And blistering 10-second time there. Not the fastest, but still really, really fast. So just under the DSM-10 supercar that I built, and then faster than the super SUV that I built as well. But again, keep in mind, this only has 208 horsepower. So compared to that one had like 620 horsepower, and this one had like 700, I think. Pretty insane. That's just because of how lightweight it is. So you know how we always end the videos here. We're gonna take this off the Car Jump Arena's jump and see how far this thing goes. And yeah, let's do that now. All right, here we are at the Car Jump Arena in the DSM Scythe. Once again, I apologize for all the technical issues. I don't know. It's got to be because of the latest update. That has to be, you know, what's going on here. So I'm going to do some more like testing and stuff like that, figure out what is going on. So hopefully I don't have the same issues for my next video. But I do appreciate you sticking it out, watching this one. Again, not how I expected this one to go at all. But if you do like what you see here as far as the car that I built, I am going to be putting a link to the description, or a link in the description below, of how you can download this yourself and try it out in BeamNG. Hopefully you'll have better success with it than I have. But yeah, I mean, I do appreciate you sticking it out this far and watching it. So let's see how far this thing flies off the Car Jump Arena. Because of how lightweight it is, I feel like it's probably going to go pretty far. So let's check this out. Kind of slowly over the crest there so we don't go flying off faster than we expected. Let's see what speed we get up to off the ramp. Maybe we can get up to 200. 186. Pretty flat off of there, and then it does like a full front flip and lands on all four wheels, but then just like completely crushes itself. And then into, oh, almost into the pool, but it kind of bounces off there, and now we're here. So pretty good jump off the car jump, arena jump. Pretty cool car, really fun to drive. Thank you for watching. I'll try to do better next time. And if you want to see what happens there, just hit the subscribe button. That would be cool. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.